A life cut short, the assassination of Yahya Sinwar. The air crackled with tension. It was a targeted strike, a precise operation. The Israeli military had one goal: eliminate Yahya Sinwar. The operation sent shockwaves through Gaza and beyond. Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, was dead. The news reverberated around the world. A wave of reactions followed. Celebrations erupted in some corners while mourning gripped others. Sinwar's life, marked by conflict and resistance, had come to an abrupt end. His death marked a turning point in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It signified the escalation of tensions, and it left the future of the region hanging precariously in the balance. Born in the shadow of displacement, Sinwar's early life. Yahya Sinwar was born into a world of displacement. It was 1962, just a few years after the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. His family, originally from the Palestinian village of Al-Majdal, had been forced to flee their homes. They found refuge in the Khan Yunis refugee camp in Gaza. Life in the camp was harsh and unforgiving. It was a constant struggle for survival. Poverty, overcrowding, and limited opportunities were the defining features of Sinwar's childhood. Despite these challenges, Sinwar displayed a strong will and a sharp mind. He excelled in his studies and developed a deep sense of Palestinian identity. The experience of displacement and the realities of life in the camp profoundly shaped his worldview. The making of a militant Sinwar's path to Hamas. The seeds of Sinwar's activism were sown early on. The ongoing Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories fueled his anger and resentment. He joined student protests, demanding an end to the occupation and the establishment of a Palestinian state. Sinwar's involvement in activism grew with each passing day. He was drawn to the message of Hamas, a Palestinian Islamic fundamentalist organization. Hamas, established in 1987, advocated armed resistance against Israel. Sinwar saw Hamas as a vehicle for achieving Palestinian liberation. He rose through the ranks, becoming a key figure in the organization's military wing. His unwavering commitment to the Palestinian cause and his willingness to use violence made him both a respected leader and a feared adversary. A prison fortress, Sinwar's time in Israeli jails. Sinwar's activism came at a heavy price. He was arrested by Israeli authorities in 1988. Charged with multiple counts of terrorism and murder, he was sentenced to 4 life terms. The Israeli prison system became his new battlefield. Inside prison, Sinwar's resolve hardened. He refused to be broken by the harsh conditions of his confinement. He continued to study, read, and write, becoming fluent in Hebrew. He also immersed himself in the teachings of Islam, deepening his faith and commitment to the Palestinian cause. Sinwar's time in prison was marked by both isolation and defiance. He emerged as a leader among Palestinian prisoners, organizing protests and hunger strikes. His defiance of Israeli authorities further solidified his status as a symbol of Palestinian resistance. Section 5, Freedom, then Power. Sinwar's rise to Hamas leadership. After spending 22 years behind bars, Sinwar was released in 2011 as part of a prisoner exchange deal between Israel and Hamas. His release was greeted with jubilation by Palestinians, who saw him as a hero returning from the lion's den. Upon his return to Gaza, Sinwar quickly assumed a prominent role in Hamas. He was elected to the organization's political bureau in 2012 and became its leader in Gaza in 2017. His rise to power was meteoric, a testament to his charisma, strategic acumen, and unwavering commitment to the Palestinian cause. As the leader of Hamas in Gaza, Sinwar faced immense challenges. The ongoing Israeli blockade had crippled Gaza's economy and created a humanitarian crisis. Sinwar vowed to break the blockade and improve the lives of Palestinians living under Israeli occupation. Section 6, a balancing act, Sinwar's dual approach to Israel. Sinwar's leadership style was marked by pragmatism and a willingness to engage in both diplomacy and armed resistance. He recognized the need for dialogue with Israel to address humanitarian issues and negotiate a lasting peace. However, Sinwar also believed in maintaining Hamas's military capabilities as a deterrent against Israeli aggression. He oversaw the development of rockets and tunnels, which were used to target Israel during periods of heightened tension. Sinwar's dual approach to Israel reflected the complexities of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He understood that achieving Palestinian statehood would require a combination of diplomacy, resistance, and international pressure. Section 7. The Architect of Resistance, Sinwar's Final Stand. Sinwar's final years were marked by escalating tensions with Israel. The breakdown of peace talks, the expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank, and the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza fueled his anger and frustration. Sinwar oversaw the launch of rockets into Israel, sparking a series of deadly clashes. He accused Israel of perpetuating a system of apartheid and vowed to continue resisting the occupation. Sinwar's defiance of Israel made him a target of the Israeli military. Section 8. A legacy forged in conflict, Sinwar's impact in the future. Yahya Sinwar's assassination sent shockwaves through the Middle East. His death was a major blow to Hamas, depriving the organization of a charismatic and experienced leader. It also raised fears of a wider conflict between Israel and Palestinian militants. Sinwar's legacy is complex and contested. He's revered by many Palestinians as a hero who dedicated his life to fighting for their freedom. However, he's also condemned by Israel and its allies as a terrorist responsible for the deaths of innocent civilians. Sinwar's death left a void in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It remains to be seen how his successors will navigate the challenges ahead. The path to peace in the region remains elusive, with both sides seemingly entrenched in their positions.